What a season it is becoming. We got the 0-3 Raiders to talk about. We got the 2-1 Bears to talk about. We got some teams that shouldn't be where they're at, whether good or bad. We got some housekeeping notes to clean up for you. We got some fantasy stars and busts. We got our matchups and our locks, even though I don't really want to talk about locks because your boy is losing. Starting the season off 3 games back already.
Mm, mm. Down bad, man. Down bad. What they
So
had didn't last. Damn, baby.
that's what I get for pulling against the Panthers. The universe taught me a lesson here.
It did. Taught you against picking on your team there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at least y'all got the win, though. At least you got the win.
At least we got the win. I didn't get the win, but we
Yeah.
got the win. But to heal my broken heart, hit that subscribe button, like us, share us with your friends, tell us about with your family members. Just bring it up. Add the cooler. People still talk at the water cooler? I think they do. Here's a new topic to talk about. Keep it rolling here. It's nickel and dime. What a
My
crazy week, my dude.
Very, very crazy. But Drew is part of course for the rest of the way the other 2 weeks have gone. So no different with week three with some of these outcomes. And it got crazy at the witching hour because like I felt
A
like we
witching
knew
hour. I love it.
how the games were gonna go, right? And
And I
then
went flap.
fourth quarter hit and yeah, some games lost and won, man.
All hell broke loose. Well, we don't want to waste any time because we got a action packed episode for you this week. So let's get into our week 3 recap. We're starting out on Thursday night. The Browns sneak one on the Steelers. Was this more of a Browns win or a Steelers loss?
I gotta say it was more of a Browns win. Brissett was dealing. He was
220,
dealing.
two
Yeah,
touchdowns.
yeah. And Joku finally doing what they drafted him to do, and maybe like he I think he's ready to break out.
Turn a
To
corner.
to Yep, I think he's
Okay.
ready to break out, but they have to continue that. They have to continue to go to him.
Trubisky only throwing for 207 yards, no touchdowns.
Drew, I don't know about you, but did it look like to you that the receivers were getting pissed at him?
Oh yeah, Claypool can't hide his emotion at all.
Yeah. You know it's bad when Najee is the one that's on camera doing it too. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, because that dude doesn't get flustered at all.
Mm.
But some chants gonna start popping up more and more, more and more. Bears win despite Fields having a terrible day. Get a win over the Texans. Fields throwing for 106 yards and 2 picks.
Win. They got to win.
The
And I didn't
two and
know
one Bears. We said it in
that.
the intro. 2-1 Bears.
Yeah, man. How improbable is it? And at a certain point, like it's just like it's a house of cards. It feels like a house of cards,
Yeah, and they know it too.
but I mean they're getting W's right now. Like make no mistake, Drew. They're in the playoff picture right now. The season ended today after 3 games. they're
Can you
in the
imagine
playoffs.
3 games and you started the playoffs? Like, well, that
Well, here
concludes
we
our regular
go.
season. But yeah, they get the win. That's the important thing at the end of the day. They get the
Right,
win.
right.
Speaking of win, Titans get their first win of the season against the Raiders, dropping the Raiders to 0-3. Henry only ran for 85 yards and a touchdown.
Well, that was the best output for fantasy owners that he's had all season. So you
Ah.
love to see it. I mean, but we talked about getting a win, and this was one that we talked about last week as being one of those honorable mention marquee matchups, right? And it did deliver. It took the witching hour
Great
and
game.
desperation to bring it there, Drew. But I mean, I'm gonna let you touch on the Raiders, right? But I mean, Derrick Henry getting it done, the team getting it done, 2 points. Raiders though, Raiders, man. I don't.
Raiders. I've got a
Yeah.
really big question to ask you about the Raiders come 3-and-out, so I'm excited to see where you go with
All
that.
right.
But
Yeah.
Derek Carr looked stressed. He looked indecisive
Mhm.
and can't win like that, especially in that division.
Nah. Nah. It's a boat race. It's a boat race, man.
And they're
A horse
starting
race,
way
really.
behind,
Yeah.
way
Yep.
behind. Like they need to be shaking this next game, the Colts' hand, for at least dropping one from the Chiefs. So the Chiefs
Yeah.
could be in the complete opposite direction and 3-0. Colts
Right.
upset the Chiefs behind Matt Ryan's 222 yards, 2 touchdowns. Taylor only rushing for 71 yards. So I know some fantasy owners that would like to get that guy going this
Yeah.
season.
Yeah. And that was one of Taylor's better outputs, though. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? So like for fantasy wife, my wife has him. So I've been monitoring his progress. But uh Colts. I mean, like Drew, is this more of a Chiefs loss or a Colts win? You feel like?
Chiefs lost.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, yeah, I tend to agree. No, I just do that for dramatic sake. But
Yeah.
it just the offense was a little off, and the Colts basically tried to give the game away. I
Of
mean,
course, they picked the worst possible game to show Bieniemy and Mahomes arguing with each other
yeah,
before halftime there. So,
yeah, and they're not immune to it. You know what I'm saying? Like Brady been on TMZ NFL all season long. You know what I'm saying? So it's not they're not immune to showing that, and good on them because I think the whole spat, Drew, was about them not going for it
being
or before the
aggressive.
half. Yeah, and honestly, 3 points it cost them. Missed
Yeah.
kicks cost them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So this is one they could have had a lot of that going around.
Oh, for sure. I think the whole season is going to be like barely getting wins,
Yeah,
losing at the last second.
drama.
Drama. Speaking of drama, we got plenty of it here in the AFC East. The Dolphins take out the Bills in a great game.
One of the better matchups and one of the better meltdowns that you will ever
Yeah.
see. Thwarted by some angel's hand covering the camera, trying to save the offensive coordinator. So
Ooh,
I thought
old
initially,
Dorsey.
yeah, I thought initially that it was like something that he threw on the table that got the camera, but no, it was a hand. It was a hand.
No, no, you don't need to see
Uh,
this.
right, exactly. But the game was just as dramatic. Drew, game was just as dramatic coming down to the last second.
Yeah, man. Tua only had to throw the ball 18 times, 186 yards, and a touchdown. Edmonds doing enough with the 2 rushing touchdowns. Very low scoring game, despite the fact of Josh Allen trying 63 attempts.
He got the arm for it, but it ain't many quarterbacks that do 63 attempts in one game. And I don't think you could have put it any better, man. 21-19 is not what you thought you were going to get with these high powered offenses. Good on the defenses, though. And good on the defensive game
Yeah,
plans. They didn't need to do that much, or you know what I mean? Like, and Josh Allen try to do all he could, obviously.
yeah,
What a Isaiah McKenzie game. Nobody saw that coming. I didn't see that coming, you
right.
know? Um, so good. I mean, good on him, man.
Singletary leading receiving yards on top of everything. So
Yeah, of
that's
course.
hilarious.
After he's way far from my fantasy team.
Yeah. And obviously, shout out to probably the most famous punt we'll see in a while. We now got
Yeah,
the butt punt.
the butt punt. Yeah.
Yeah. Vikings survived the Lions, even though Kirk Cousins threw for 260 and 2 touchdowns. I mean, a solid outing by Kurt. It just didn't feel like it watching the game.
It never does with Kirk Cousins. It never
Fair,
does.
fair.
That's his problem. And I feel the same. I felt the same way you felt. Like I felt Detroit was like, oh, they got it. Like it's gonna happen. And then the Vikings just took it away from them. You know what I mean? Like,
Shut down Jefferson. Like, if
yeah,
that's not the blueprint for stopping that dude, you're not
yeah.
going to get a better look at it.
Yeah, and I think that's got to be the moniker going forward, or for the rest of the teams that they're going to face, at least like until they figure out how to get around it. But they needed somebody to step up, and it just happened to be Osborne. Kirk obviously made the throw. But this was one that the Lions, I feel like, could have had.
Yeah, man.
And now they're at a crossroads again. But like I just expected with this team, but you know, you want better for
You do. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
them.
Ravens get right, so to speak, against the Patriots. Lamar Jackson throws for 4 touchdowns behind 218 yards. Does have the one pick, but this was the best game I've seen from Mr. Andrews in a while. We're talking about what receiver's going to step up. Mr.
Yeah,
Andrews said me.
this felt like an eerily similar game to the last 2 years that we've seen from Mark Andrews. I was like,
Dare I
oh,
say vintage Baltimore Ravens.
there you go, there you go. And this, I mean, this honestly, their wins and losses, I guess, have come in untraditional ways. I feel like that they have come with them not dumping the ball to Mark Andrews. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to win in different ways with the passing game that's honestly stepped up. Devin Duvernay continuing to look like a good
Duvernay.
pick. Bateman continuing to look like a good pick. So they're more multiple than they've been in a while on offense.
Yeah.
And you love to see it. And you got a little taste of that with the vintage yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
Lamar hitting the 100 yards rushing and the rushing touchdown. So I mean, he threw the ball for the haters and then ran for himself.
Yep. This was the game that this was peak Baltimore.
Yeah,
Honestly, this is peak Baltimore.
that
Yeah,
won them a lot of games over the years.
yeah.
Bengals avoid going 0-3, get the W against the Jets.
It's the Jets, and they put it on them. It's the
Yeah,
Jets. Yeah. No more
there you
like
go.
calm down on the Flacco love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which I
Don't get too
mean,
out of control.
he threw 2 picks, so that is on him. Yeah. Eagles stay undefeated, beat the Commanders. Hurts throwing for 340 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's like, oh, you want me to throw the ball?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I can do that. I can do that.
yeah. And our boy, who is currently getting beat in his matchup, that would be Chris Mara, decided to keep Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith on his bench for a combined total of 60 points. Uh, yeah, you're gonna be biting your ass on that
That's what
one,
you
man. You
get
know
for
what
that
I'm
stupid name, man.
saying? So yeah, they're on his bench right now. But honestly, for as much as this was the Jalen Hurts game, talking about those two players, I really feel like this was the Devontae Smith game. Like he
Yeah.
was a monster and elevating to catch the ball, not speed. Drew, what you got on it, man?
I mean, he showed why he was such a high pick because all you heard was he's too small. He's too small. He's too small. He's like, nope, I'm going to do exactly what I did in college and it's going to
Yeah,
translate. And he had 169 yards to show for it.
yep. It was, bro. It was almost like he went Super Saiyan. You
He
know what I'm
did.
saying?
He did.
It like he was just the way he was command. Like he got confident, and after that first one, it was off to the races. And then AJ Brown still had 85, 17 yard on the average. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So
It was
this
nice to
is
see Pascal get intertwined in the offense a little bit too, man. They got weapons. They got
they do.
options.
And the defense obviously
Mm.
came to play as well because it's not like Washington's receivers hadn't gotten off, you know what I'm saying, these last
9
couple of weeks.
sacks, my dude.
Nine. Nine. Did we this was one of the groups that we kind of talked about before the season, was it not? This Washington offensive line won't be able to get them
Back
where
up
they need to
Mr.
go. So
Wentz.
yeah.
Yeah, only let Gibson get off for 38 rushing yards. Wentz had 22 because he was running for his life. This caught me off guard. I put
Right.
surprise here. Panthers surprise the Saints. Baker throws for 170 yards and a touchdown. I can't even get excited about these wins anymore, man. We talked about it in the group
We
chat, me,
did.
you,
We
and
did.
Matt.
Yeah.
Like, I, to me, it's still delaying the inevitable. So why am I putting
Okay.
stock in a team that yes, we won the game and we beat the Saints? Like that's bam bam. Like that's nice
It,
check,
it, it it's something to feel good about. And I I completely, because we also talked about this before. We talked about this on the show. Like, I feel where Drew's coming from because my team has been in this position where the coach is the dead man walking. You know what I'm saying? So
He
like,
better be.
you
Like, I
need to
don't
get
know
that
that.
guy you need to get the guy out of the building. But I say this though,
Yeah,
for as much as you want the new regime to come in, I know there's a part of you that's like, well, we gotta have a foundation, and
yeah,
that's what you see in the wins though. I
yeah.
mean, Laviska Chenault made that whole transaction worth it
That
on
was
that play
fantastic.
yesterday.
Yep,
You know what
yep.
I'm saying? Like, what'd you give up for him? Nothing. So like, plus, you
But
know.
then the coaching staff has to piss you off. You can't even enjoy that because as I'm watching highlights and I see the play again, and I'm have this warm feeling, I get to hear from the dumb coaching staffs. It's like, well, now they plan on getting him more involved.
I mean, what they supposed to say? They should. I mean, with plays like
Why
that.
wasn't he involved before? Is this the
Yeah,
first catch this man has ever made?
yeah. Believe me, I have gripes about players not getting involved with your offense, only scoring 12 points in a loss that we should have not have lost. Okay, where
Wait, hold on,
we'll talk
we'll
about
say
it.
it. We'll say it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Because I'm excited about this game, man. This was one of the put a smile on my face, and I liked both teams involved. But the Jaguars absolutely shocked the Chargers. Trevor Lawrence comes in and throws for 3 touchdowns, and man, oh man, you could see that pain on her Bears face
Mm-hmm.
all
Mm-hmm.
day. Kudos to
Yeah.
him for playing through, but 297, a touchdown, and a pick.
This
Just looked
this
rough.
man had barbecue ribs and still threw for sub 300, like just 3 yards shy of 300. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
So kudos to him. I would have loved to seen him at full strength.
yeah,
But this was what you wanted to see from the former first round pick. Like, he had a day, and I don't know. I mean, Justin Herbert wasn't the defense. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? He wasn't the Charger defense, and
No,
and them boys, they
supposedly
got
one
it
of the
touched up.
best,
Yeah,
which they're dealing with injuries too. They don't
they
have
are.
Jackson in.
Yeah, and then I think
Bosa
Bosa
pulled his
Bosa went out.
groin.
But
Yeah,
see, but we talked about that
but
before.
Bosa doesn't stay healthy. I'm
Nah,
sorry.
yeah, it's just like he needed to stay healthy, especially with the guy that you have on the other side. But like, for as much as I want to talk about the Chargers, we got to give props to the Jaguars. I mean, Robinson continuing
Robinson's that dude, man.
to just
Dude,
have.
I'm 2-1 in fantasy football this season, which
Mhm.
you know is new territory for me. I've been following the show,
Right,
but a lot of it is contributed to Robinson and Kirk. Those are my two dudes that I picked up super late. I picked Robinson up off the waiver wire when I found out he was coming back week 1,
right.
and I picked Kirk
It was a
up
great
super
pickup.
late. So those boys have been putting up numbers, but also look at our boy Zay Jones with the
Yep,
85 yards and a touchdown. So my man has weapons. ETN had a bounce back game. He looked pretty good.
yeah,
Running the ball looked way more comfortable.
yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is as advertised, like coming out of college. Then man, Jacksonville's got some fun years ahead of them.
They do, and I think this is what you're starting to see in the foundation. Like, if they give me, I honestly say, if they get to 7 wins, just go ahead and extend Doug Peterson right
Give him
now.
whatever he wants.
You know what I'm saying? Because he and his regime, which he must have gotten Trent Baalke's ear, because Trent Baalke's still there. Trent Baalke has made some questionable decisions in
Question.
the past, so it must be Doug Peterson. I got to give kudos to him for getting these players in here and being able to do it. And it's paying off them paying that money. Christian Kirk, Zay Jones. It's the weapons and the
Some
defense and the
great
defense.
receivers. Yeah,
And I like,
absolutely.
just a quick shout to you, bro. Those decisions that you made, you took a chance on the Jacksonville offense and their upside, and it's paying off. It's paying off. That's all
Finally,
it's doing. Yeah,
finally it pays off.
yeah,
Uh, Rams get to 2-1, get a win over division rival Arizona. No passing touchdowns between the two quarterbacks
yeah. Low elbow trouble.
from both.
Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was surprised by that. It was a defensive, a low scoring game. A lot of that, in a lot of the games yesterday,
Yeah,
with the offenses, you know what I mean. But they still threw for yards, but just kind of bogged down in the red zone. You finally saw Cam Akers,
Akers finally showed
kind of
up.
came
Yeah,
back. Yeah, but I mean, still Cooper Cup had 20 of their yards. So I personally,
rushing.
I
Yeah.
need more from their rushing game.
Oh, for sure. For
Both
sure.
rushing games. I mean, Connor didn't do shit. You know what I'm saying? Like 13 for 39, 3 yards a carry. Give me the guy who was there last year, Drew.
How'd Kyler Murray only get you 8 yards? Like, I know you don't want him running a
Yeah.
lot, but if you're losing, maybe throw a design run in there a time or two.
Yeah, and
Listen to me trying to get him Cam Newton out here.
yeah, don't do that. But no, I mean they had a plan for him. You know what I'm saying? Like and it
58
didn't
attempts.
it it didn't really relate as far as like sacks. You know what I'm saying? But like they clearly did some good things to stifle Kyler
Yeah,
and that offense. But this is a Rams team who has beat really beat Arizona a lot these last couple of
so
years.
much, man. Just
So they
punching
might
bag.
just have their number
Yeah.
coaching.
Falcons get the win over the Seahawks. Falcons, man. Look at those guys. Look at
Hey,
those guys.
I did call it. I
You
did
did.
call it.
You did.
I forgot that I called it. So I had to look. But then
That's good.
but then I remembered. Good for them, man. Drake London continues to be a player. Kyle Pitts finally getting
Patterson.
involved.
Patterson.
Patterson. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Just looks like a monster in that running back in that backfield, man.
He he just continues to do it, man. And at this point, like this is just who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if he wants to do something else, no, just
Yeah.
accept it.
Like,
Like
you're
this
just a
is
running back, dude. You're just a big dude that runs the
yeah,
ball.
yeah.
Can
And
catch it too, but what
it's
you run.
clearly working for him. You know what I'm saying? It's clearly working for
Yeah.
him.
All right, man. Well, we gotta tug on the heartstrings here. The Packers get the Bucks, and what surprised some, not a surprise to some, but a surprise to some, in a
Right.
defensive affair.
A very defensive affair. And really, I mean, if you are a Packers fan, I wouldn't feel too good about yourself. Uh Personally, I really wouldn't. I really
There it is.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
If you're a Bucks fan, there's a lot to feel good about. And I'll break it down like this, okay?
Choosing to be positive here. I like this.
Well, it's early in the season. We do have one of the harder, you don't expect to go 17-0 with this schedule, but I say this for Tom Brady, like the offensive line, couple of sacks, couple penalties and stuff like that. But Donovan Smith didn't play. We were down all of our wide receivers. We know all that. The defense is still there. They held Aaron Rodgers to 14 points, Drew.
Yeah.
And really it was really just the first couple of drives. So what that tells me is yesterday they came in, they had a scheme, it was quickly adjusted to, and which resulted them in 14 points. And then like Ty Bowles was like, no, we're not doing that. And then they were shut down for the rest of the game. All the offense had to do was score a touchdown. And like they had two fumbles, you know what I'm saying? Like on two key drives, which hurt them because they were already so down. Leonard Fournette finally got more involved in the passing game. Cameron Brate finally got more
I was
involved
about
in
to
the
say, how do you feel
passing
about
game.
Brait being there a little bit?
He
Gage had a
finally
good
got
day.
Yeah, well, Gage also had the fumble. So had he not had that fumble, and this was on the drive where they were driving, so I just see a lot of positive. He's going to get those weapons back. You know what I'm saying? Like the defense is all world right now, holding that man and that offense with that scheme to 14 points. Basically the whole game. You know what I'm saying? Had a couple of plays, defense made a couple of turnovers. It's just a lot to look forward to down the road. But unfortunately, it resulted in a loss yesterday. You know what I mean?
It did. It did.
Fucking Green Bay Packers.
Broncos get a wild win over the 49ers on Sunday night. Wilson was getting booed out of that stadium, man, until like punt, 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 touchdown.
11 points. 11. There's no way I saw this game going like that.
No,
No way.
no. You think San Fran's a little more uneasy about Garoppolo?
They have to be. They have to be. I mean, 10 points. And they had some opportunities, but he didn't look as good as he looked the week before. That's for damn sure. You know what I
He's
mean?
like, I got the job, man. What am I worried about?
Right. He lacks now. Relax. He's still playing for this next contract, man. So
Yeah, you're
he
right.
need to get on it. But 11 points was all it took. 10 points was all you can get. You know what I'm saying?
Broncos
And
looked terrible, man. They did not. Neither team deserved to win. We needed one of those
well,
good old fashioned ties last night for sure.
and it was clearly a defensive game, and this was two good defensive teams, but I need more. This is I feel like it's more alarming for Denver and their offense than it is for anybody else not named Cam Sutton.
Because you auctioned off the whole future
Yeah,
for this quarterback. So
yeah.
if he ain't the guy, man,
And it just
it's gonna
seems
be a
weird
little bit.
because they it is, and they have pieces. So is it coaching? Is it coaching at this point? Because like when you look at them on paper, it's not adding up.
Because well, you appreciate the fact my man went out and got help.
Mm,
He admitted he had trouble deciding things in the moment. So he went and got an old veteran assistant coach to help him with game management. But at the same time, that hire, while you do need the help, and it's kudos to you for getting the help, that
right.
also lets the entire league know, hey, I needed the help. So
Yeah, yeah.
everything that man does the rest of the year is going to be questioned.
Microscope. You know, and not many first year head coaches have that. You usually have at least a mulligan year. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, but also bring in an advisor.
Yeah,
Don't bring in a time management coach. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. They
either someone in your organization lets you down by telling the world what that coach was hired for, or you're just an idiot and you're like, yeah, he's here to help me make decisions.
your boy Nate Hackett might be getting that Steve Wilkes treatment. You know what I'm saying? That one and done.
Yeah.
That one and done.
All right, let's get into some housekeeping notes, tie up some loose ends around the league somehow, some way, and the league is looking into this. Tua is not in concussion protocol. They said it was his back that caused him to.
No, it wasn't.
I've had some head injuries and I've had some back issues, and I've stumbled, and
Yeah.
it never was the back.
If that was his back, that is the definition of your backbone slipping. Like
Then you
if
shouldn't be
whatever.
in there either way.
Exactly, exactly. So no, I don't believe you at all, NFL. I
No,
don't. Yeah,
they're gonna get to the bottom of that. Chargers tackle Rashawn Slater, torn bicep, done for the year.
not good. That is not good because he has been very good in protection for Justin Herbert. Um,
Torn bicep.
that's definitely a year. There's no coming back from that. It's not a torn pec, TJ Watt.
Yeah, that still blows my mind.
Yeah.
Linebacker Joey Bosa. Is it Joey that plays for the Chargers? They're the same person
Yes.
to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Left the game with a groin injury, so he's undergoing some more tests today to see the extent of that injury. We are filming on Monday today, so don't have all the news yet on all the injuries. Lions running back DeAndre Swift dealing with a shoulder sprain. Listed as day to day, but his coach said he might miss the next two games leading into the bye week to rest up and come back strong for the second part of the
Stretch
year.
run. Yeah.
Uh, Patriots quarterback Mac Jones has the dreaded high ankle sprain.
Mm. Well, I mean, he shouldn't be running in the first place. So that should just keep him in the pocket.
and,
But he,
and or dancing.
true, true.
That celebration was poof.
Yeah, you're right about that. But no, I mean, if he can play, he should be okay, like staying in the pocket. But like, I mean, he gonna be toe tap Tony back there if the pass rush starts getting into him. So you
I
know what I mean.
mean,
So like, I don't know. Just
I'm
depends.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm not someone to judge anyone on. You deal with pain your own way, like that's your body. However you deal with pain,
Right.
you take what you can take. I'm not one of those. He's a sissy boy. Don't care. But my man looked like he got his entire half of his leg sawed off at the end of that game when he was running to the sideline, hobbling to the sideline. So if this is a can play through pain thing, I don't know if my man's got it. You know. Oh, that he was in distress.
Was it? It was just dangling.
No, he was just like hobbling, but he was like he had the
Yeah,
like the your mom tells you asks you if you're okay when you fall and you're not about to cry, but then you
yeah,
start crying. He had
yeah.
that. He had the
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. When you had to take in a deep breath to get the next
yeah, yeah,
cry out. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay, I
yeah.
got you.
He had pain face.
Yeah, you're not paying. You're not playing through that. You're not playing through that.
Packers secondary Jair Alexander going further testing for his groin, hoping not to be a long term injury. They need him back.
They do, and I will say that's one other positive that Packers can take is they stifled this hobbled the Bucks offense without Jair Alexander for most of the game. So that's a plus. That's a plus for them.
Saints wide receivers Thomas and Landry are dealing with a toe and foot injury, respectively.
Yeah, them boys trying to sit this one out. They trying to sit this one out. They know what's coming, and it don't look good for the Saints. We'll see how it progresses through the week, but they need them because they got Minnesota coming up, and we have no force. Those are some
The
drama filled
curse,
games
man.
right
The
there.
curse of the Saints
So,
Vikings. Niners tackle Trent Williams also dealing with the dreaded high ankle sprain.
mm.
He's a big man. Can't be hobbling around on that ankle.
Yeah, nah, he probably gonna sit this one out too. But that's like at least what 2 to 4 weeks
Yeah,
for most of
at
them,
least. But I
at
mean,
least.
we hear about they miss half the season and like the high ankle sprain.
Yeah,
Ugh. It
get
should
well
just be
soon, man.
2 to question mark. And then the last housekeeping note I got, we'll move on. Rihanna set to perform at this year's Super Bowl halftime show.
I think like this is how I know that the Illuminati might be real is because like legit, bro. We was in the car going to dinner the other night and was like, question plus or minus 6 months on a new Rihanna album, and that was like 2 days before the announcement, right?
Like,
Because
oh,
like it
you we
just
heard album, but
yeah, it just feels like it was about time for something big for her to come up, and then
yeah,
like so I will say, now that she got the announcement, though, we probably getting the album soon, though. Probably getting the
yeah,
album soon.
yeah.
Yeah, but I
Or
like
a
it though.
new
What you?
line on her clothes, something, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I mean, she's got to do her first post mom project. This is her
Yeah,
big. I had a kid. Now I got to now check it out. I still got it,
yeah, and
which I'm
we
sure
need it,
she's gonna bring it. I'm sure she's
and we
gonna bring it. It's
yeah,
gonna be a minute.
and we need it. And I'm ready.
Yeah,
National. Somebody said National Fenty League.
yeah.
All
All right, let's get into 3 and out. Shawn, what you got on first down?
right, man. Gotta put it to you like this. Overview question with this one, Drew. 3 weeks into the season, there's been a lot of weird things. Okay. But in your opinion, what is the weirdest thing that's happened this season in any context?
All these teams just winning when their quarterback has been playing so ugly. Like that first game with the 49ers and Bears had just set a tone for some reason. Like Matt Ryan
Mm.
hasn't looked good in Indianapolis and they've only lost 1 game.
Yeah. Yep.
Justin Fields is 2-1.
Yep.
Kirk Cousins is 2-1. Russell Wilson won
It's
last night and
it,
looked terrible.
11 points.
Yeah.
No,
So
it,
just how bad these quarterbacks have been playing. I didn't
yeah.
think collectively because I mean we still you can't forget about Aaron Rodgers week 1 stinker. So
Yeah.
just collectively how bad these quarterbacks have been so far.
And it's a quarterback driven league though, too,
Yeah.
So it's
Because it's
like,
not like these
man,
running backs are rushing for 200 yards.
nope. Nah, that good answer. Good answer on that, man. I like it. I like it. All right, what you got on second down?
All right, we got to tie it in. The NFL ends the Pro Bowl as we know it. What would you like to see? Like they've got some ideas. They're gonna make it a week
Right.
long. Um, skills competition and then
Yeah,
like a flag football game, which
yeah,
last year was a flag football game.
yeah.
Two hand touch, which rightfully
Basically,
so. Don't want anyone getting hurt. No reason
yeah,
to. About to
yeah.
go on vacation. What would you like to see the Pro Bowl be? Are they headed in the right direction, or like you got some changes? What would Commissioner Suds do to the Pro Bowl?
Think they finally, whoever came up with the idea for them to do this, finally got it right, man. That's what I want to see. I want to see them take cues from the NBA. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like do a skills competition, which it sounds like they have coming. Flag football is cool. Like if they do a flag football, I want to see it be dressed down. But the competitive juices probably start flowing. So like I think it could be good, but I want to see how this first year plays out.
yeah,
And then but be open to make some changes though
yeah,
if it doesn't go right this first year and add on. So it can't
yeah.
just be that. So I like it. I'm with it. I'm with it.
Because I mean, I don't watch the NBA All Star game, but I watch the 3-point contest and the dunk contest.
Right.
Well, I mean, not so much the dunk contest the last year,
Yeah.
but watch the skills. So
Bring
it'd be
back the
nice.
quarterback competition, baby.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
love that.
yes, all that stuff. I think
QB
that's what they're
Club on
gonna do.
Sega Game Gear, man. Go on.
Yeah. Yep. I like it.
All right. What you got on third down?
Third down, Drew. Out of all the 1 and 2 teams, or some of the 1 and 2 teams, I'm going to give you a list here, but out of all the 1 and 2 teams, which have a better chance to make the playoffs? Is it
Okay.
Detroit,
Okay.
LA Chargers,
Yep.
Cincinnati Bengals, or the San Francisco 49ers?
Ooh. I gotta go. Oh man. I want to go Chargers, but how long is my man gonna be hurt?
Yeah,
Because he can't play like this all year. And if he keeps playing, does he play like this all year?
that's true.
Because ribs take forever to heal.
Defense is
Ooh.
defense is injured. I mean, it's a legit question. You know what I'm saying? Considering what all these teams are going through.
Yeah. I think I think the Bengals will figure it out because they're starting to show some stuff with the receivers. And I'm just worried that Chargers are just going to be hurt off and on
Yeah,
all year. Because
yeah,
Keenan Allen being another scratch, does he ever get right with his hamstring? If they put the workload on Mike Williams, he's going to break at some point. Eckler's
yeah.
going to spend some time out. Like I think more likely the Bengals turn it around than the Chargers, unfortunately.
Okay.
Which
And they
look at this in a AFC West. We thought it was going to be this crazy division. The
right.
Broncos can't get started. The Raiders are 0-3. The Chargers are falling apart.
Yeah. And the we talked about a house of cards before, but the Broncos, they look like a house of cards on offense. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
y'all winning, but run up against the
How?
juggernaut and see what happens.
Yeah. All right, fourth down. Let's
Fourth
keep it
down.
in that AFC West. As it sits now, the Raiders have the number one pick in 2023.
Mm.
Put your GM hat on, and what in the world do you do to help this Raiders team that just couldn't figure it out?
Oh, man. I, I don't want to do what everybody thinks I'm going to do, but I have to do it, man. I got to take a quarterback. Like, I have to take a quarterback because how often are you going to get the number 1 overall pick if you're a team with the Raiders who is capable of winning a lot of games? Like how often are you going to get unless there's like a Lawrence Taylor,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like
So you
another
hope for
can't
like the
miss
Chase
number one
Young
prospect.
kind of
Yeah, you know what I'm
prospect to
saying?
come
Like
through where you
it
got to
that's
get him.
it has to be an all world, all time player, or else I'm taking the quarterback with the best upside,
Bryce Young,
especially
CJ Stroud, big quarterback draft this year.
yeah, and so I think you have to take your shot. But I mean, because if you look at it, really, they could take an offensive lineman, but I feel like they would be better served to pick a higher ceiling position at that point at the number 1 pick in the
Yeah.
draft. So I
Take a
gotta go
swing.
quarterback. Yeah,
Take a swing at number one.
yeah,
All right, well, let's get into some fantasy stars and busts so far. Heading into week 4, Sean,
right.
who do you start this week? Give me some players that are going to have a good week fantasy wise.
I mean, at this point, I just want consistency. because that's what I have not been getting in my own fantasy team is just consistency. So if I look at it that way, Drew, my number one fantasy star that I'm going with, Greg Dortch, wide receiver for the Arizona
Old
Cardinals.
Dortch.
Greg
Okay.
Dortch is a top 25 fantasy wide receiver this year. That's right. You heard me correctly. Greg Dortch is a top 25 fantasy wide receiver. I mean, he gets a good target share and he's doing the most with his opportunities without DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, what do you expect the guy to do? He's taking advantage of it. So
That's fantastic.
I
Old Dortch
need,
getting some love on nickel and dime this week. I
yes,
like it.
sir. We go deep.
Yeah. All right. My number one star, talk about consistency, and he looks like he is back. It's Mark Andrews, tight end, Baltimore Ravens. Is and always will be Lamar Jackson's favorite target. And I think he got tired of some weird weeks. So he was like, I'm just going to get open because I know he's going to find me. And that's what
Yeah.
he did. And it was magnifique.
Yeah.
When some other star tight ends are disappearing, we haven't seen anything from Kittle so far.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a big Kittle game last night, and it was not.
It was not. Kelsey dropped touchdown number 2 of
Mm,
the day.
yeah,
So
and
yeah,
and
Mark
tight
Andrews
tight end is a position where if you can get a star like that could mean a championship, easily because it
leaning
ain't a
hard
lot
on
of
Mike
them.
Andrews this year.
Woo,
Yeah,
boy,
yeah, yeah.
oh boy. I guess in my next one, man, is Cortland Sutton.
Oh, okay.
Cortland Sutton from the Broncos. And the Broncos offense that hadn't done much, that guy's done a lot.
He
Uh,
has
Especially,
consistent, dude.
and
100
I'm looking
yards.
at this from a PPR perspective, but he's been the guy through 3 weeks that hadn't been Jerry Judy. Like Jerry Judy, he's way too erratic for me. Way too erratic. So give me a guy who's going to catch the ball cleanly and do what he does. So give me Cortland Sutton. And I think touchdowns are to come for this guy too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. My other fantasy star is Christian Kirk, another receiver putting up numbers. Jacksonville figuring some things out, and
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is seeing the field. He's seeing his options, and they can't key in on just one person. So, a lot of one-on-ones with Christian Kirk are
Yeah.
not going to end well for the other team.
And if you're Arizona and Cliff Kingsbury, you got to be kicking yourself because you had this dude for years.
And he only
And Steve
showed
Kine. Yeah.
little tiny bits of what he could have been.
Yeah. And I swear it was like every third week you'd be like, damn, Christian Kirk 80-yard TD or something like that. Like,
And he'd do something crazy to make it happen. Like it
yeah.
wasn't like they put the ball in his hand or anything. He'd have to like catch it like going backwards
Right.
behind his head.
So they never utilize that dude. So good on him,
Yeah,
man. Like he's
yeah,
he's making it happen.
yeah,
All right, man. We got to get to the bus.
yeah.
And there, in my eyes, there is no bigger bust. Because it's really making me look like a reach for me. It's the boy Tom Brady.
Oh
Tom
no.
Brady. Oh man, like the the offense ain't doing this dude no
Yeah,
favors.
yeah,
Scotty Miller, go away. Just go away.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? The offense, penalties, injuries, it's not happening for Tom. Offensive line stuff, so if you drafted Tom high, sorry, you know what I'm saying? But it may get better. Just gotta hold on, baby. Just hold on.
yeah,
Because he has been a disappointment.
yeah. To an extent, Aaron Rodgers, ditto. He's hurt me.
Yeah.
He hurt me week 1. I lost week because of that guy.
Yeah.
And Carr's been in the starting lineup since, and he's been doing all right. So, but
Right.
now I get the matchup nightmare where I just keep going back and forth which one I want to play. So,
Hmm.
painted myself into a bit of a corner here. My first bust, and it's not really anything against this guy. It's just his situation. It's DeAndre Swift, probably going to get shut
Mm.
down for the next 2 weeks. You
Yeah.
probably dropped the first or second round pick on this dude. So anytime those top guys miss time, it just hurts. So
Yeah.
he's got injuries. Williams is sniping some touchdowns even when he comes back and gets healthy. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, and he's on my squad. I got to figure out what to do with him. It's DeAndre Swift.
They are definitely a two back system. The way Jamal Williams been running the ball, man, and talking about high draft picks, he is not on my team, but I understand where I'm coming from with this one. It's got to be Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara, talk about drafting a running back high,
What happened to
man.
Alvin?
Exactly. Exactly.
He's
So
still throwing punches in Vegas.
based on where you had to draft AK, you were highly disappointed. So I know you feel me on this one. So Alvin Kamara, man, fantasy
Yeah.
bust, and I don't see it getting better.
Yeah. My last bust is just numbers wise. It's Justin Fields. If you drafted him thinking you might get in a little quarterback with some rush yards attached, my man has scored 8 and 4 points in weeks 1 and 2.
He went down by half. Oh man, we hate to laugh. I hate to laugh at your expense, Justin, man. But
Yeah.
hey, y'all winning. So
You're 2-1. Who cares?
y'all winning.
Yeah. All right. Real quick before we move up onto our matchups of the week, you got any shout outs?
Most definitely, my guy. I gotta give a big shout out, first and foremost, to Lamar Jackson, man. Lamar Jackson is continuing to show
Wow.
why he needs to get paid, man. 5 total touchdowns, neck thick as hell, just doing the damn thing,
It's still
man.
just having fun.
Having
My man
fun.
never looks stressed out.
And he did no, and that's what I was that's literally what I was gonna say. He's like he just looks so cool under all this pressure. And like if that don't tell me he believe in himself, then I don't know what does. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I
Yeah.
love to see it. Also, we talked about it earlier, but shout to the Eagles, more specifically, shout to Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith, man. Shout to them
Getting it
boys.
done, man.
Talk about cool under pressure, man. Like them boys. I like what I'm seeing in Philadelphia. I still don't like them as a franchise, you know,
Right.
I'm from there, but like it's something about this team, man. So this it's a good feeling. It's good vibes in there in Philadelphia right now. So shout to them boys. Shout to the boy Jamal Williams. You know what I'm saying? Like he did his thing yesterday.
And even
He
that, you mean that penalty?
not that one
One
though.
too many. The one too many hip thrusts.
Well, I mean, come on, man. That's right. I forgot about that. Damn, he had three. He had three hip thrusts, and he didn't deserve it.
He did.
You know, he didn't deserve it.
Everyone in the stadium was mesmerized. I don't know why the ref had to cancel everyone's fun.
He was jealous. He was jealous.
Yeah,
That's all
yeah,
it was.
yeah.
You know. Shout to Jamal Williams. You know what I mean?
He's got to put the team's run game on his back the next 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Looks like so.
yeah, yeah.
All right, let's talk matchups. Week 4
Let's do it, man.
got some mediocre matchups, but there's some good ones in the thick of things.
There always is though. They like to sprinkle them in, but yeah, another okay week, I guess. But you want to go first? Or you want me to go first? What you got?
Yeah, I want to. I'm excited. I've talked about this matchup, just because of it's been the theme. These two teams have been the theme of our show so far, so we might as well keep talking about it. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars at Philadelphia Eagles. Can the Trevor Lawrence train keep chugging along against this very difficult Philadelphia Eagles defense?
Yeah, I'm so excited to see this because and I wished honestly, I wish this was a 4 o'clock or 8 o'clock game. You know what I mean? Like this
Yeah.
is probably one of the better matchups besides
Red Zone will be keying in on this.
oh, they got to, they better. But that's one of the big questions. I want to see if Travis Etienne can keep it going, Drew.
Yeah.
I want to see what the follow up is going to be to this offensive performance that they just gave us last Sunday on the Philadelphia side of the ball.
Yeah.
You
Look at
know?
this Clemson versus Alabama over here.
Ooh, yeah, yeah, and both of them boys are still young enough, that
It's
they
still
were still
fresh.
there. Yeah, it's
Still
still
fresh.
fresh.
These stars know each other all too well.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if there's a little bit of extra. Please, I hope that there's side bets going on between the two teams.
Oh,
I really hope there's side
yeah.
bets. But nah, what do you think? I want to see if the Jacksonville defense is up to the task, though, Drew.
Because and I was about to say that Jacksonville's defense is really going to be tested, but Philly's is too.
Mm-hmm.
The all the weapons we just talked about for Jacksonville is going to push this Philly defense to the limit too. This might be the toughest test Philly's faced this year so far.
It
So
has. It
both
has.
defenses get a nice little test, see where they're at in week 4. And
early.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
mean, I do believe Philly has the better defense, but
Mhm.
look what Trevor Lawrence and company just made the Chargers defense look like.
Exactly,
So,
exactly, and and they're really stepping up, and I love that they're clearly buying into the scheme, but there's still a lot of players from this Eagles team that Doug Peterson coached. Now this has to be
oh
something
yeah, I
that
forgot about that
we
sub
talked about.
storyline here
So
too.
yeah, so there he should have some insight on tendencies,
Yeah,
on like there should be a lot that he knows, even though the coaching staff is completely different, but a lot of players. And talking about coaching, honestly, I don't know how I could have forgot this at this point, or up until this part in the season. But you know who is not being talked about? So shout out to this dude, Nick Sirianni. Nobody is talking about Nick
because they've
Sirianni.
kept him off the podium, and good for them.
But
They're like, we'll release statements. He doesn't need to talk. Okay, okay,
how, like, he was a focal point last year when it was going bad,
yeah.
and like it's going so well now that like he is getting none of the credit,
I
you
know, and
know.
because he looks like an idiot, man. Like even when they cut over the sidelines and he's got his playbook and he's
Yeah,
like, well, man
yeah,
does not hide his face well.
yeah. I'm one of those people. Like you always know
Yeah,
what I'm thinking. So,
yeah,
but this
but
is
he
this
just
is
looks like he doesn't have thoughts behind it.
this
I'm
is
not
this
picking
is
on that
one of
man. Hit man is 3-0. He's an NFL coach. Who am I?
trending up, trending
Yeah.
up. But I'm very excited for this matchup. A lot of. I think there's going to be some questions to be answered. More so, I feel like more so for Jacksonville. Like, are they really real? This is their
If
game
they get a signature win over
over the
Philly here, like
Eagles.
that's huge.
Yeah, I mean it could light their way for their season. And I know Philadelphia, when they looked at this game coming up on the schedule, Drew, was like this was one of the easier
Tough
ones
game.
that they were thinking was going to happen. So now they have to alter their whole plan. So I'm ready.
Nice. What is your first matchup of the week?
My first matchup is none other than Miami Cincinnati.
Ooh,
This
the
is
Thursday night game. I love it.
yes, the very first one, and I didn't know that when I picked it, but man, this is a rubber meets the road match, Drew, because you have a red hot Miami team,
Who
red
wins no
hot,
matter what.
and they
They
just
just get
win.
wins.
And you have a desperate Bengals team. You know what I'm saying? Like they should be very very desperate. They got to win, and now unfortunately they got to win against an easier team. And now you face this juggernaut coming in. You are at home, right? Like I want to say Cincinnati's at home on this one, whatever Paycor Stadium is. Yeah, so I think it's
Yeah.
Cincinnati, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
Paycor.
so old Paycor.
I wonder what it's gonna feel like. Crisp Cincinnati
Yeah,
gonna be
but
in the 50s.
and we're gonna see if Tua is really ready to bounce back off this game. I mean, they didn't score as many, they didn't need him to do that much, but are they? If this offense actually gets it going next week, and you saw signs of that last week, is Miami gonna be able to put back on that offensive performance, like, or was it just a flash in the pan that he just goes Super Saiyan? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, go
Someone to
ahead.
keep in mind, Xavier Howard popped up on the injury list today with he's questionable with a groin injury.
Yeah,
So
and I
with all
think
those receivers Cincinnati throws at you, he's got to be on the field.
well, with the and then talking about receiver injuries, didn't T Higgins go down? I want to say he went down, but I don't know if he came
He
back.
he came back.
Okay,
He's clear.
all right, cool, cool. So yeah, so
Hurst
you
is questionable with the groin injury.
that's right.
That's about it.
But you mentioned it though. So like, if you already down one of your best corners, that's just going to put you in the world of hurt potentially. But the Dolphins defense, obviously, doing their damn thing. Not more so like as far as yards, you know what I'm saying? But they just get it done, man. Like I don't really have a way to explain it to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
I mean the Bills did a great job of shutting out to Waddle and Hill in the first half, and then that dam broke.
yeah, yeah. So I'm really excited for this game. Cincinnati being at home, I think adds a little bit of intrigue because this is supposed to be one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah.
Consider how they did last year. And I think they want to make us this is where they should want to make a statement. You know what I'm saying? Get it done. Like I want to see who comes out on top. And I think that solidifies either Miami as
Top
the
of the
team that's
AFC,
the top of the AFC or just another team who might have some trouble here coming up. You know what I
which
mean?
we thought they were in the preseason. So
That's what I'm saying.
let's see how this pans out. Because, boom, if the Bengals get this win here, back to 2-2, they're brand new start.
Yep. Yep. All right. So what you want to do? You want me to go next? Do a snake? You want to do
Yeah,
a
go for it.
snake?
What's your second matchup of the week?
All right, man. Well, talking about how great this NFC East has been, I'm going there because I want to see who is going to be fighting for second place, trying to take Philly off their perch. Is it going to be this Washington football team who just got throttled, or the Dallas
The
Cowboys?
classic matchup. I love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it's a lot of I want to see. And now this is Monday, so Dallas has yet to play, but they could either be 2-1 or 1-2. So if they come into this game and they win tonight against the Giants,
Who could
they
be
could
3-0?
who could be 3-0 if they lose. The Giants could be 3-0 if they
Yeah.
lose. But then that leaves both of these teams like, okay, we can't get too far behind the eight ball because now our season's derailed because you have the powerhouse. If Dallas loses, you have the Giants and the Cowboys. I'm sorry, the Giants and the Eagles who
3-0.
are 3-0. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they're leaving the rest of the field behind. So you
Yeah.
got to keep pace, man. You got to keep pace. Based on Jerry's timeline, Dak could play for this game.
I'm waiting for Jerry to suit up and play quarterback.
Right, right. So that adds, I mean, is it going to be another Cooper Rush game? We don't know yet, depending on how that goes. I want to see if Washington can bounce back. They got throttled.
Mollywopped.
Yeah, and the receivers, they didn't do a whole. Terry McLaurin had a pretty good game, but he is the one that you know is going to be there every week. Like the other ones,
They couldn't get Samuel started. They
nah,
tried.
and Dotson, either Logan Thomas didn't have a great game. So, and the offensive line didn't have a great game. That's, so how are they going to get back? With Dallas, man, I need CD Lamb to be CD Lamb. And we'll see if that happens tonight. We'll see if they can build on that. If it does happen tonight with Cooper Rush, they have to make it easy for him. I don't know which quarterback you're going to get
Or
based on Jerry Jones, you know what I mean?
or is it my man's wide receiver from the practice squad coming with him that tears it up again too?
Oh, Noah Brown?
Yeah,
They got that
I want to
chemistry.
see Noah keep putting up numbers.
And Dallas's defense has not been that bad. Just as now, of course, like we're filming on Monday, so it's based on numbers from a whole game less, but they were pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much in every category except rushing. So that could be something that Washington looks to do as well. But this is more of a storyline matchup. I feel like because of the stuff that we mentioned, they have to keep pace. And especially if Dallas comes in with a win, if you're Washington, if you beat Dallas now, it's a level playing field and you're not that far behind, even though you lost to the Eagles. You know what I mean? So they need this. This is much needed matchup for both teams.
I love it. Already got a must win week 4 because it is.
It is.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, my second matchup. Can Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills bounce back against Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens? We get AFC playoffs week 4. It's fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was mad. I was mad. This is another matchup that I was going to pick. But man, Baltimore coming off the way that they won, and then Buffalo coming off the way that they lost.
Yeah.
It a lot of what am I trying to say? Just a lot of want to for this game.
Yeah, and it was also weird how a lot of question marks that the Bills faced in the past resurfaced. Like, does Allen
Mm,
try to do too much at times?
yeah.
Can anyone help him on offense? A lot of those old school Bills questions popped up the same week that we saw Baltimore turn the
Mm,
clock back 3 weeks and
yeah.
play like old Baltimore. So I feel like these guys are hitting each other at the right time. And even though
Mhm.
Buffalo lost, they're still playing fantastic.
They are, and we can't derail like how much of a juggernaut they look like the previous couple of weeks after just one game. Where and it's a divisional matchup. Like we should kind of expect that to a certain level, but I mean Buffalo being on the road again doesn't help. You know what I'm saying? Two road matchups in a row against these two teams. What is looking to be the upper echelon of the AFC.
Yeah,
I want to see how Buffalo comes back. Like, what is their plan to get, Diggs back up to it? If they need Isaiah McKenzie, great. But Gabe Davis has been largely ineffective in my opinion, for what they
gotta
got from
get him
him
involved.
last couple of, at the end of last year and into the playoffs and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
And I
First
mean,
week.
that might be a shout out and a testament to Miami's defense for putting pressure on Josh Allen. It doesn't seem like he could have gotten through all of his progressions sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm excited about this one too, man. What is it? So many of these games that we're picking, like it's just like, what does it mean based on who wins and who loses? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it just breeds more questions that we have to answer, and it changes from week to week. But if Buffalo loses again, was the early season, was it a facade? Like
Yeah,
if they lose,
another overhyped team.
yeah, and I mean, and if they win, now it immediately, like you're not even thinking like that. Like the question that I just posed seems like asinine because they just beat
Yeah.
a hot Baltimore team, but it's
Yeah.
the line, the margin of error is that razor thin.
And that's the AFC in 2022. And I
Yeah,
love it. Every game matters. It's like a college football schedule. Can't
it
lose.
is. Yep.
Nice. Well, let's get into these locks because I sound excited, but I'm not really. I'm just trying to get back. Your boy's 1-5. All right, let's go ahead and talk about it.
Yeah,
Through 3 weeks, we picked two each week. I'm 1-5.
yeah,
The
yeah.
Panthers let me down last week and didn't lose to the Saints.
Or did you
Uh,
let them down? I don't know.
I let them down, and they proved me they put me in my place, and I respect
Right.
that. But I also thought the Broncos were going to lose to Garoppolo, and that didn't
Mm.
happen. So, and you went 2-0, so you're sitting at 4-2. Look at you, my guy, four
Hey,
and two.
wins divisions.
Atlanta beat Seattle. Patriots lost to Baltimore. You picked both of those, so I'm deferring to you this week, man. Where are we starting?
Let's keep it going. All right. So I'm gonna start with the loser this week,
Okay.
and unfortunately, Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh,
I got you losing this week. I'm going all in on Miami. I figure I got a little bit of a lead. I'm gonna take a little jump. I did not
I
want
hear
to
you.
pick this
I hear
game,
you. It is a
but
tough game to pick.
I'm going with the Bengals for the loss, man. I think Miami just they're rolling right now.
Okay. I am going to go Seattle loses to Detroit. I'm hoping to cash in on some of this good juju of talking up the Detroit Lions all year.
Right,
I'm hoping
right.
they will repay me by helping me get back to 500.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Good pick, man. It's a good pick. Uh, I do want Detroit to win, but Seattle they got to be desperate. They got to be desperate. So curious to see how it goes. All right,
it could go very poorly for me. I get that.
that is eerily funny, Drew, because I actually have them as my winner. The
Okay.
Lions winning over the Seattle Seahawks.
Well, that
Talking
way,
about,
if I lose, you lose too.
that is true. That is true. Didn't think that one through too much. But yeah, I think I'm with you. I think the Lions losing the way that they did, they should be desperate to get that win over a desperate Seattle team. So I'm more on the Lions, and Gino hadn't looked good since the first week. So
Nah. And my win this week, I'm just trying to get back on track here. Okay. I got Green Bay beating probably the Mac Jones-less New England Patriots.
yeah,
Is that Brian
yeah,
Hoyer? Is that next
yeah. I was
man
about to
up?
say it's
So
Hoyer, it's
yeah,
Hoyer season. It's Hoyer season.
Packers gonna get that dub.
They're gonna get that dub. They're gonna get that dub. I'm not copping out. I'm swinging for the fences on this when I got that lead. I got that lead. No cupcakes from your boy, but I understand where you're coming from.
Gotta win some. Gotta win. You're not gonna listen to me if I'm 1-17. All
That's true.
right, Shawn, where can they find you online?
All right. At the Kid Subs on Twitter, at nickel underscore dom FB on Twitter, and at the illustrious nickel underscore dom football on IG. Drew, where can they find you and your content at, man?
Go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I will be putting out some fresh comedy content on here, chopping up the special, giving it to you in smaller doses so you can have your favorite joke you can share with a friend here and there. So be on the lookout for that. Follow me on Instagram at Laugh with Harrison. And for the most part, just keep it locked here because we got so much more NFL season to go. These playoffs are going to be ridiculous. And why not get it from us? You know, why not get your NFL news from Nickel and Dime? That's all I have to
Exactly.
ask you. Why not?
And we still don't understand water towers.
We'll see you next week.